At 61, the man who defined Hollywood blockbusters and Ryan finally allowed the curtain to slip. For decades, Tom Cruise represented perfection, the ultimate leading man, a global superstar who seemed untouchable. But even in a career built on smiles, stunts, and success, shadows followed him. And now, at this age, Tom no longer hides them. He has quietly admitted the names of 7 actors he will never work with again. Names that once shared screens, scripts, and stages with him. Names that remind him of betrayal, disrespect, or creative war. This isn't gossip. This is the reality of how Hollywood operates when egos collide. So let us begin. From the least shocking to the one name so powerful that even Tom's closest friend were left stunned. 7. Russell Crowe. The year was 2017. Universal Pictures launched The Mummy, betting on Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe to kickstart a shared cinematic universe. On paper, it was unstoppable. 2 legends, 2 powerful performers. A recipe for billions. But behind the glossy posters and red carpet smiles, the set told another story. Russell Crowe was notorious for his temper, a man who thrived on intensity but sometimes drowned his colleagues in it. Tom Cruise, on the other hand, was obsessive about discipline. Every detail mattered, every stunt rehearsed to perfection. The clash was immediate. Crew members whispered about Russell shouting in frustration, delaying shoots while Tom demanded precision. Tension thickened daily. What should have been a groundbreaking collaboration turned into long, exhausting nights. After the film bombed, Tom privately admitted, working with Russell felt like walking into a storm without cover. The shared universe collapsed, the partnership dissolved, and Tom quietly crossed Russell's name from his future, forever. 6. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf once admired Tom Cruise, but admiration soon turned to sharp words. In an interview, Shia labeled Tom as a manufactured movie star, a man who plays the same character every time. Those words hit deeper than the public knew. Tom had spent his life pushing boundaries, performing stunts no one dared attempt, reinventing action cinema. To hear himself dismissed as manufactured cut like a blade. Years later, when a sci-fi project was pitched that would unite the two, studios were excited. But Tom was not. He refused, telling his inner circle, "Chaos has no place where precision is required." Because that was Shia's reputation: brilliant on screen, chaotic off it. Explosive behavior, public scandals, wild unpredictability. Tom, a man who lived by control, discipline, and order, could never align with Shia's storm. The collaboration died before it lived, and Tom made sure Shia's name never entered his orbit again. 5. Charlize Theron. It was supposed to be a dream pairing. 2 action legends, Tom Cruise and Charlize Theron, headlining a big-budget thriller. Fans expected fireworks, studios expected gold. But negotiations cracked the dream. Charlize allegedly demanded equal billing, her name side by side with Tom's in every poster. She also wanted a say in stunts, particularly the dangerous ones Tom is famous for. To Tom, this was more than a contract dispute. It was a matter of trust. He believed his stunt work wasn't just performance, but identity. For someone to question it felt like a direct challenge. Insiders revealed that Tom walked away telling colleagues, "If trust isn't there, the movie cannot exist." The project collapsed, never to be revived. And though Charlize and Tom remain icons in the same industry, their paths diverged. One clash in vision was enough for Tom to ensure it would never happen again. 4. Alec Baldwin. When Tom Cruise joined Rock of Ages in 2012, the idea was fun, a lighter, musical role. But behind the cameras, something darker unfolded. Alec Baldwin, cast alongside him, allegedly mocked Tom's relentless seriousness. During rehearsals, Tom would give his all, as he always did, but Alec turned it into a joke. He laughed at the intensity, even in front of crew. Tom smiled in public. He endured, but privately it stung. For Tom, work was sacred. Discipline was non-negotiable. To be mocked for passion was unforgivable. Years later, when rumors spread of Alec being considered for Mission Impossible roles, Tom resisted. He simply said no. And in Hollywood, when Tom says no, doors close. Alec's casual mockery ensured he'd never again stand beside Tom on screen. 3. Mickey Rourke. Few actors were as openly critical of Tom Cruise as Mickey Rourke. In interviews, Mickey dismissed him as irrelevant, accusing him of lacking depth as an actor. Normally, Tom ignored such remarks. He rarely engaged in Hollywood gossip. But this was different. For someone to so bluntly dismiss decades of work, achievements, and reinvention, it hurt. When asked if he'd ever consider working with Mickey, Tom gave a rare, direct answer. No, absolutely not. That one phrase revealed more than years of silence. Tom's blacklist is usually unspoken, but in Mickey's case, it was verbal, final, and absolute. For Tom, disrespect crosses a line, and once crossed, it cannot be repaired. 2. Angelina Jolie. This was the pairing the world once begged for. Tom Cruise and Angelina Jolie in an espionage thriller, the ultimate spy duo, the perfect Hollywood storm. But in private script meetings, a battle began. Angelina wanted the story centered on her character. Tom, as always, wanted balance, a shared partnership. Insiders whispered that their discussions grew sharp, each unwilling to bend. Angelina pushed for dominance, Tom resisted. One insider said it plainly. It wasn't about the script, it was about who would be the star. In the end, Tom walked away, calling the project creative suicide. He knew that on screen, their egos would clash louder than their characters. And so, Hollywood's dream collaboration dissolved into smoke. 1. Brad Pitt. And now, the most shocking name of all, Brad Pitt. Back in 1994, Interview with the Vampire brought them together. Two rising icons, one gothic epic. But what looked like cinematic history was in truth, misery. Brad later confessed he was unhappy on set, describing Tom as the North Pole to my South Pole. He mocked Tom's energy, his smile, his perfectionism. Tom, who prided himself on harmony, was deeply wounded. And while Brad moved on, Tom carried the sting. Over the years, studios dreamed of pairing them again. A spy thriller, a historical epic, even a potential Mission Impossible cameo. Every time, Tom refused. At 61, he finally admitted the truth. Brad Pitt is the one actor he will never, under any circumstances, share the screen with again. The rivalry may not be loud, but it is permanent.